Good evening. Thank you for joining me and my friends this evening for what has become our annual Larissa and Friends Recital. I'm really excited to be joined with so many of my good friends who are excellent musicians also. So without further ado, I want to introduce Willie Clark, and he is playing a very interesting instrument that he will tell you a little bit about.
It's actually a crossover instrument. They normally use it for opera, because it has the ability to, which you'll hear later, to really oink out low notes. And they use it for soundtracks for movies too, for that very same reason. It's when I say it's a crossover, it really is. You can consider it like with the trombone family. They have alto, tenor, bass, and contrabass. This is like a contrabass trombone with vowels. The piece that I'm playing is meant to be something, because I guarantee you aren't going to hear too many chimbasso solos in your lifetime. So it's written to be fun and like this maniacal waltz sometimes, written by Jim Self. He actually taught at USC, I believe, and was a studio tuba player out in LA. You've seen the movie Jaws and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. If you hear tuba on that, it was most likely him. And he wrote this piece for his one of his students, who actually turned out to be a pretty good chimbasso player himself. So hope you enjoy it. I don't even know how to walk with this thing yet.
So this piece I'm going to play for you is, it's the first movement from the suite. It's the prelude by Roma Coppola. She's an Irish composer, and she has an interesting story to her life. She grew up in a family of musicians, but her father felt like music was not the road for women, so would not allow her to go into music, to study music. But she went into teaching, and she got severely ill and actually had to retire early from teaching. And that's when she went back to her first love and really started composing. She's written a lot of music for woodwinds, for flute, clarinet. She's known for writing in a very romantic style. So it's a very cool piece. I hope you enjoy it. And now I'm back. So now I'm going to play bass flute. Bass flute, you may or may not have seen a bass flute before. It is an octave lower than the regular flute that I just played, so it has a nice, warm, beautiful low sound. And it's become a lot more popular in recent years. So this piece I'm going to perform is Prayer for a Damaged World by Jonathan Cohen, who, even though he's like worldwide known and is very popular among flutists, he actually lives locally, so he lives not too far from here. And this piece was written in 2020, so everyone knows what was happening then. So he says he wrote this piece in response not only to the pandemic, but also in other things that were going on around the world. So this piece starts off, he says it starts off with a feeling of shared anguish among people, but ends with a feeling of hope that they still hope for a better tomorrow. So I feel like that's still very relevant today. So this is Jonathan Cohen's Prayer.
from ABBA, the pop supergroup. And if you want to know more, please Google them because they're fabulous. But I'd rather tell you that, well, a story about myself. The sad part is that Daniela passed away this year. That's the only sad part, don't worry. But the wonderful thing that she imparted in me is an absolute love of music. And you give your mom credit for a lot of things during your life. Hopefully, I think that I did. But I didn't actually realize until she passed that she was my first music teacher, like unquestioningly, and taught me many of the songs that I grew up singing. Was the first person to encourage my singing. So I want to say to her, thank you for the music, Mom. And I'd also like to state that if you hear any vocal flaws, it's because of the emotion, and if it's perfect, you can thank my mom. Sweet I'm nothing special, in fact, I'm a bit of a bore. When I tell a joke,
use the microphone to talk a little bit while we get a set change. When Caitlin said that she wanted to do that, I told her that was a perfect selection, and I hope that you all enjoyed it as much as I did. And I feel like it was perfect for today because that's what we're celebrating. We're celebrating the joy of music and friends, and so I think it's perfect, very fitting. So while we have a little set change here, I'll just say a few words. Thank you for supporting our music here at Christ Church and for supporting me as a musician. As a church musician, I get to play music all the time, but not always fun stuff like what I'm playing today. So this was my way of indulging myself, but also getting to play music with my friends. So my husband, Eddie Sanders, is setting up right now. He's doing like triple duty today because he is not only playing, but he's also recording audio and video of the whole recital. So I'll give him a chance to set up. You're ready? All right, so I will let him talk about the pieces that he is going to play.
Hello, everyone. So I'm going to play two covers today. First piece came to me in a really odd way. Patricia, are you here? Yeah. So I met this Argentinian tuba player. He was at my house last Christmas, because why not, right? And so I met him last Christmas. A friend of mine on social medias. And yes, he's a touring tuba soloist, whatever that means, right? So he's on tour. I check in and see what he's doing, and I hear him play an arrangement of the Joaquin Rodrigo guitar concerto on tuba. So I was like, I always love that piece. So I messaged him right away. I was like, I need that piece. Where do I get it? So he's like, yeah, email this guy. He'll send it to you. I said, fantastic. So I emailed him. I was like, yeah, send me $10 and I'll send it to you. He's like, all right, cool, whatever. This piece is like, so beautiful. What's odd about it, it's a guitar concerto. So we're going to play the second movement of the guitar concerto. The first time I heard it, it was in a movie called Brass Off. So the first time I heard it was a brass ensemble arrangement of the piece. The second time I heard it was tuba, right? And I'm going to do it today. The piece is beautiful. I didn't really know much about it, and to be honest, there's not a lot of Spanish music written for this one. So when I played it with Larissa the first time, the first thing I thought was, I sound like an American trying to play Spanish too. It was amazing. So I said, let's delve into this a little bit more. So I looked the piece up, and it's based off of a Spanish piece called Recital. It's sung during Holy Week. So during Catholic Holy Week, there are statues that are brought down the street, and traditionally a woman would wear all black. It's kind of like a Spanish style of altar. That was the reason I stole it. But so it's basically. So from the point of view of Mary being very sad about the death of her son Jesus. And so when you hear it, I mean, it's so powerful. And this piece, it was also written, it was commissioned in the early 60s, but it was right around the time Rodrigo's wife lost her first child from miscarriage. So you stack this all up, and then also realize that when you listen to a real set, when you listen to it, you can hear like Muslim inflection in it. And so when you know that's there, it's like, oh, now I don't sound like an American anymore. I actually paid attention to another culture and figured it out. So it's an awesome piece. I hope you enjoy it. Rodrigo, second movement of Rodrigo's concerto, or guitar, arranged for bassoon. Thank you. next piece, I'm going to play some German. It's really the same thing. Right? Next piece is by Franz Danzig. Unless you're a woodwind player, you probably don't know who he is. If you do, well, you're better than me. Franz Danzig lived in a weird period, so he was born at the end of Mozart's life, didn't know who Mozart was a fan. Lived in smack dab in the middle of early Beethoven, and he actually taught Carl Maria von Weber. All three of those individuals wrote, well, not Beethoven, but Mozart and Weber actually wrote the Symphony concertos. This is actually the third movement of his Symphony concerto F major. Danzig, his writing is, because of when he lived, it's almost like he's not a classical composer, but he's not romantic either. It kind of goes in between. So what you'll hear things that it sounds like late Mozart, and then you'll hear like, is that Beethoven? No, like it's just when he lived. And so like not like I would say like not a super concrete style, but he was a huge fan of the woodwind music. He wrote a large number of works for bassoon, clarinet, flute, and woodwind quintets. So if you're a bassoon major, woodwind major in college, you're going to play Danzig and write bassoon. I mean, not bassoon, but woodwind quintets. So his writing is fantastic, it's really fun. This piece is a polacca, which is a polonaise, it's a Polish dance, but it's written in German form. So it wouldn't be uncommon for you to be in a German beer garden and hear it play. Not exactly this one, but one like it. I wish we all had beers. But it's okay, it's all right. We'll have some soon. So this one, so a polacca is just, it's a German dance. It can be danced by 2 people or 100 all at once. And I really mean it when I say it. It's that this piece, when you hear it, it'll sound like you're in a German beer garden. So I hope you enjoy the third movement of Franz Danzig's Bassoon Concerto F major. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to say a few last words from here, and then I'm going upstairs to the organ, so you won't see me. This next piece that I'm going to, I have two last pieces for the organ. The next one that I will do is a march by an Austrian composer named Matilda Kralik. She is not a composer that is familiar to most people. She did write a substantial amount of music, but it's mostly unknown. She kind of was, she studied music. She won lots of competitions for composition when she studied, but then she kind of disappeared from the composition scene. More recently, some of her music has been discovered and performed. So I wanted to do something a little festive, so it's called a Fest March. So I will perform that, and then right after that, I will play the Toccata in B minor by Eugene Gigot. So you won't see me, but you can turn around and I'll wave over the balcony. So enjoy.
Thank